the last thing I want to point out is that many people say the 10 plagues did not really happen, the Exodus didn't happen, and you've done that in our early studies where we saw that many of the archaeologists and all are saying there's no proof that that ever happened or that the Israelites were ever in Egypt, which is not true. There are many documents, and we've listed them on our website, and you can look at those documents for yourself. But one of those important documents is a papyrus that was found around 1800. It's been translated from the hieroglyphics, and it is the report of these plagues by an Egyptian poet and writer who is writing a lament about what happened in Egypt. And many of the archaeologists and scientists today look at this document because it is an obvious reference to the Exodus in every detail, and yet they pass it off and they say that's not possible because we know that didn't happen. It's a story of the Bible. So this man was either having a dream or something, or maybe he was just referencing something in poetry that had no basis in fact. And they footnote this by saying, because we know that the Exodus didn't happen, because this man was writing at an earlier date than we ever thought, or that Christians and Jews think that the Exodus took place. And so they said, because the dates don't match, it didn't happen. It's not referring to this. And I say this: if the dates don't match, then get your dates straight. This is from the mouth of an Egyptian in that era, and he's writing about it. Listen carefully, and we put the document on the website so that you could see it. You can read it for yourself. As a matter of fact, we have 2 of those documents so that you can read about the Ipuwer Papyrus. And let me read just some of the things that are in that papyrus that this Egyptian says has happened in Egypt. He says, plague is throughout the land. Blood is everywhere. The river is blood. Note that he doesn't say it looks like blood, or it's red, or there's a red tide. Men shrink from tasting. Human beings thirst after water. Human beings thirst after water. That is our water. That is our happiness. What shall we do in respect thereof? Everything is ruined. Forsooth, gates and columns and walls are consumed by fire. Lower Egypt weeps. The entire palace is without its revenues. To it belong the wheat and the barley and the geese and the fish. They are all gone. Forsooth, grain has perished on every side. Forsooth, that has perished which was yesterday seen, and the land is left over to its weariness like the cutting of flax. All the animals, their hearts weep, the cattle moan. Behold, cattle are left to stray, and there is none to gather them together. The land is without light. Forsooth, the children of princes are dashed against walls. Forsooth, the children of princes are cast out into the streets. The prisons are ruined. He who places his brother in the ground is everywhere. It is groaning throughout the land, mingled with lamentations. Behold, the fire has mounted up on high. It burns and goes forth against the enemies of the land. Gold and lapis, lazuli, silver, and he mentions a bunch of different valuables at that time, bronze, are fastened on the neck of every female slave. What a wonderful, wonderful description of the land of Egypt. And we won't get into all of the details, but you can read the articles that are there, and they will help you understand. This is a document that stands against the knowledge of the scientists today who want to disprove that the 10 plagues took place and that the Israelites left Egypt. God is a mighty God, and he wants us to know that he is God alone.